The Nerdy 30s, the podcast that proves you don't have to give up what you love at any certain age.
Dreams.
Dream of a dream.
Dream a little dream of me.
Real dream, girls.
Well, at least you didn't have all those dreams about the cheese guy.
What?
You know. I've made a little space for all these cheese slices.
What are you talking about? We're talking about dreams.
These will not protect you.
I
wear the cheese. The cheese does not wear me.
I'm trying to make dream puns.
Shaking the cheese, and I walk away angry. That's what Buffy does. She shakes the cheese.
Oh yes, that is the Cheese Man.
The Cheese Man!
From the Dream episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which this is not an episode about.
No.
So you're free to take a shot.
Actually, you have to take a shot for all the cheese references that I just
each
did.
Cheese man reference.
Replay this whole podcast so far. It's not very long. And take your shots. Because the Cheeseman was an integral part of the Buffy universe.
Cheeseman. You know, I was recently rewatching. I didn't rewatch the episode, but like I've been watching somebody else rewatch it. And they watched the first episode of season 7, and there's like a big flashback of everything that's happened so far. And like, if you watch closely, there's a Cheese Man edit in there.
See, I told you that is the integral part of the entire thing.
So important.
He's very important, and I wear the cheese.
I guess there's nothing else to say other than welcome to the Nerdy 30s.
Welcome.
The podcast that proves you don't have to give up things you love at a certain age. I'm Travis Harrison.
I'm Erin Naoma.
And today we're not talking about Cheesemans.
Are you sure? Because we did talk a lot about cheese.
We're talking.
And right before this, I ate a bunch of cheese.
She did. She ate imitation crab meat and cheese and onions and just mushed it all together.
Delicious.
She's like, this is just like crab rangoon.
That's the poor man's crab rangoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're talking about dreams.
Yeah.
Because we all have them.
And we got weird ones.
And we have recurring ones.
I bought a book just for this very episode, and it is the 10,000 Dreams Interpreted, and it's by Gustavus Hindman Miller, and I'm pretty sure he was a Nazi, because when you read all of the things that he has in there, that it tells you what your dream is actually about. It's pretty much about you dying or someone is about to die.
Oh, yes.
So,
also, there's no glossary. It's just like, fuck you, find your own dream.
So this podcast is going to have a lot of pauses with me going,
I sifted through the book and I found where my dream is, and I bookmarked it with an old bill.
It was sitting on the table that has yet to be paid because I'm an adult and I can choose if I pay a bill or not.
That's how we deal
That's
with things.
how we deal with all the stresses.
Welcome to the Nerdy 30s.
We ain't got no money, but we still doing it. We still doing it. I was wondering if maybe there was like an index. Is there an index?
I don't think so.
That was an Addams Family reference.
You just, oh yeah, it's been a long time. But they do have the new movie coming out.
I am excited about that, actually.
It looks pretty good. Like, I mean, you have all these, people that are like, oh, it's a remake, gross, but like, whatever. It's been 20 years.
Cute. It's time. It's time.
Also, like, I remember I've said this on the podcast before, but I told you who they said would make a good Gomez Addams, and he's doing the voice. Oscar Isaac.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
He's going to do great. That's exciting. Are they going to have Angelica Houston do...
No, it's actually Charlize Theron that's doing Morticia. Oh. And then Chloe Grace Moretz is Wednesday. And one of the boys from Stranger Things is Bugsley.
Who's the little girl? Who's Wednesday?
Chloe Grace Moretz, New Carrie and other things.
Surprise! I don't know!
She's good. I like her in some things.
I don't know who she is.
She's one of those people that, like, if you saw her, you're like, oh, that girl.
What's her name?
Chloe Grace Moretz.
What is it?
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Moretz.
Moretz?
With a Z.
Oh, her! She's the werewolf on Dark Shadows.
I guess.
It was Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp.
I haven't watched that one.
Well, that's where... she was also on 30 Rock. She was Jack Donaghy's nemesis. She was a small child, which is very amusing to me.
Yeah, well, she's Wednesday. The Voice. Because it's a cartoon movie.
I could see her doing that. She does a lot of, like, dark, sarcastic roles, so I could see this. I wonder which one of the... Is it... what's his name? The kid that where his teeth don't grow in?
No, it's not him.
It's not him?
It's the famous one, because, like...
the main guy? Like, the main little kid that's, like, in love with Eleven?
Yeah, because, like, he's in, like, all the movies now, because, like, he's in the It movies, too.
Oh.
That one.
Okay. I could see that. I could see that as well. I'm having trouble with Charlize Theron, but...
she could pull off Sexy and Spooky, because she did all the Huntsman movies, where she's...
Yeah.
That could be transplanted
It just felt so
into
contrived to me. You know what they should have done? They should have had Catherine O'Hara do it.
The babies.
The babies. How many of the crows are mutants? Mutants.
If you don't watch Schitt's Creek, you need to watch it.
You're ruining your life if you haven't
Catherine
watched
O'Hara.
it. I love this woman. She's one of my absolute favorites.
She's a tastemaker with all those wigs.
Oh, makes me so happy.
She really is, because Cher just did a live show on TV where she was fully wearing a Moira Rose Crows Have Eyes.
And she had crows taped to her shoulders.
It was insane.
She didn't really have crows taped to her shoulders. I
have.
was just being facetious.
So this podcast is about dreams.
As most of our podcasts go.
Should we just talk about dreams that we
Sure.
have?
So Travis, to get this ball rolling or this sleep going.
Stress ball?
This interpretive dream going. That's bad. What have you been dreaming about lately? Like, my dreams have been doing a lot of synchronicity stuff. Have you been having any of that?
No, I have spooky nightmares that I actually keep. I keep like a little dream journal on.
I do too.
Online about.
Oh, online. Mine's right next to me.
Mine's it's just a Google Doc, but I can remember the really crazy ones. But I'll talk about those later, because one right now that I've had. For
Hold on, let me get the dream interpreter out.
I've bookmarked it for you.
Oh, thank you.
But anyway, one that I have constantly for the last several years. It's usually it's slightly different every time I have it.
Yeah.
But the general theme is still the same. Is that I, as my 30-something-year-old self.
Is this the one about high school?
Yeah,
I have that one too.
I always go back to high school for whatever reason, whether or not it's because I've missed a class or a credit, or because I've messed up something in my life now and I have to go back and redo school to get it right again. And it just always feels because I feel so out of place as an adult, maybe I have to redo my youth.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. Is that what you pinpointed in here?
Yeah, that's what because I found the school dream.
I have had this dream as well. I have, and usually I get contacted by the school that we went to in high school, and they say, "You didn't finish high school. You didn't actually graduate because you needed 2 more classes," and they didn't tell me. So then I have to go back to high school and finish it. And for some reason, it's either I have to go back to it and finish it, or I'm in high school, but I'm still my 30-year-old self.
Yeah.
And I still have to take 2 more classes. And they're like, you can't go to graduation because you're not graduating. And then I sneak into graduation anyway, and I stand there with my short curly hair. I always have short curly hair for some reason. I don't know why.
But I mean, it's always I am still in my 30s, but then suddenly I have to go back to school, and then but everybody else is young high school age, and it's so weird because then you're out of place.
Yeah,
and you're this old person there.
You know what it is? We've never been kissing.
Yeah.
We're Drew Barrymoring.
Josie Grossi.
I'm not Josie Grossi anymore.
Yeah, but like it's never like it's not like that where like it's like, oh, I want my high school love.
Right.
It's like I don't fit in as an adult, but I don't fit in as a child.
Right.
So it's like
I'm the same way.
What?
Mine's the same. I think mine is I have a bunch of potential, but it's always frozen.
Yeah.
Because I never like break the ice with it because I get nervous and never thaw my potential out so that I can be a beautiful thawed cave woman that the scientists probe.
You said that like Bjork. Proud.
Let's see what this means. I'm opening up the 10,000 Dreams Interpreted. Happily, Travis already put my bill in the place where we needed it.
To dream of attending school indicates distinction in literary work. If you think you're young and at school as in your youth, you will find that sorrow and reverses will make you sincerely long for the simple trust and pleasures of the days of yore.
I mean, there's also these other things. To dream of teaching a school foretells that you will strive for literary attainments, but the bare necessities of life must first be forthcoming. To visit the schoolhouse of your childhood days, I think this is more us, pretends that discontent and discouraging incidents overshadow the present. I think that's us.
Yeah.
I think it's that one. And then the last one is to dream of a school teacher denotes that you are likely to enjoy learning and amusements in a quiet way. If you are one, you are likely to reach desired success in literary and other works. I think it's the one where we have discouraging incidents.
Yeah.
Because we're 30s and we both had breakdowns.
Yeah.
And we don't do much now. We
Yes.
try.
So I think that's pretty accurate. 'Cause, like,
yes.
I'm constantly discouraged about things, and I am discontent, and that's why I'm starting my life over again because I was so not content with where it was.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the same here. Thank you, Travis. Thank you. You really nailed that one on the head, sir.
You nailed it.
Ya nailed it, ya goody goody. Thank you.
I hate that it's always the same dream for me though. Like,
Yeah.
high school's always a little different. One time, the high school was like this like weird like 80s like neon rock and roll high school, and I was like, this is cool, but it was still like, you know, all the kids were making fun of me because I was old.
You're like, you're old. Stop wearing that spandex. Is that what you were doing? Were you wearing spandex?
I mean, like it was very. I mean, like it was 80s and neon, but like also there was like kind of like a Grease aesthetic because like there was a lot of leather jackets.
Interesting.
It was cool.
It does sound really cool.
There was an art class, and I made a clay pot.
I always, in my dreams, if it's about high school, there's always that one person that pops up in it. You know who I'm talking about. I will not say their name because it is not necessary.
Is it the crush? Oh,
yes.
Yeah, okay.
The crush of yore. That's what I'll call it because of Gustavus.
Yore!
The crush of yore. Usually he pops up at some point, and usually he's sleeping in a bag on the floor, and I think it's because he takes photographs of homeless people. That's what I think. He does a lot. And if you follow him, then you know who he is. And I don't have a crush on him anymore because he takes photos of homeless people. He's like, look at my art. I'm like, that's not art. That's exploiting people.
Exploitation.
Anyway, so my dreams, whenever I have them, there's 3 different ways that it usually goes. Usually there'll be synchronicities in my dreams that I start seeing them everywhere in my waking life.
Yeah.
Or if you don't know what a synchronicity is, it's where you start seeing signs of the same thing over and over again, and it's kind of leading you in a direction. The other one is, I'm going to call them stress dreams, where I wake up and I'm like, what the F just happened? And then the third one is usually some grand theatrical movie that I need to write.
Yeah.
So those are my 3 dream types. Most of the time, I dream in third person. I don't dream in first person, and I guess it's because I disassociate in my dreams, which is an interesting kind of little tidbit.
I go back and forth.
The only times that I actually have first person are usually whenever it's kind of like memoryscapes, but they're not actually memories I remember. So it's kind of like, am I seeing something that I kind of blocked from my memory and it's coming out in my dream, sort of a thing. But every other time I'm usually looking at myself, and usually I don't look anything like myself. I don't have a great concept of what I look like. Because I'll draw myself and everyone's like, that doesn't look like you. And I'm like, are you sure? I'm pretty sure it does.
Like sometimes I do that where well, it'll be first person for the most part. But then like you zoom out and it's like, I'm being played by Charlize Theron.
And she's like, hello.
I am Travis.
Hi, I'm Travis Harrison. And I'm going to eat Twizzlers.
That's pretty accurate. She wins an Oscar for portraying me.
That'd be cool.
You're so brave for looking so ugly.
No, you stop it!
Well, that's what they did for her when
Why
she played...
you talk about my friend that way? No. Why you talk about him that way?
That's what they did
You be nice to my friend.
That's what they did for her when she played, what's-her-face in Monster.
Yeah, but that's very different. It's very different. Like, she was like a drug addict and, like... What is it? Stud lesbian?
Yeah, I mean, she was like a butch.
Is that rude? Because I've been watching Catfish, and that's something that I keep hearing the lesbians say on there.
No, I don't think it's rude.
Okay.
Like, that just means, like, they're like the top. They're like they're butch. I never like to do the gender roles thing.
I don't either, because I think it's a bunch of hoo-ha.
If you're gonna do the gross gender roles, it would be kind of like the more male energy one.
Okay. Yeah. But I've been seeing that a lot on Catfish, so I'm just kind of like, is that rude? But it's always the lesbians actually saying it, so I'm like, I guess that's just lingo that they use. Lesbian lingo.
That's one thing, like, if you hang out with gays and lesbians, like, we have our own languages.
Yeah.
Which you'll pick up on a little bit, like, you know, girl can mean 90 different things.
You can have a full conversation with just the word girl.
You can interchange it with bitch, by the way. Like, bitch also applies.
You ready? Let's do it. Girl.
Girl.
Oh, girl.
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 Bitch.
It totally works. That was like a great conversation just had. Like, we were being judgmental. There was a lot of judgment in that conversation we just had. A lot of judgment. We were throwing shade. Lots of it. But back to, like, dreams and stuff. I'm throwing shade. I've been having really weird, vivid dreams lately. Mm-hmm. Like, these ones are not recurring. What, honey? Sorry, my cat keeps talking to me. These ones are very strange, and I don't really know what they mean. I've been doing a lot of, like, kind of reading into what it could mean and doing a lot of interpretation of myself, and then I tried to use Gustavus's book, and it was just like, everything's going to die, and I was like, oh, that's not what I hoped for. So, in this dream that I had the other day, and I've consistently had weird, very vibrant dreams this last couple weeks, and this one just so happens to be the synchronicity dream. So, it's strange. I was in Chicago going to school, going to college at Second City College, and if you don't know what Second City is, it's actually an improv club in Chicago, but for some reason it was a college in my dream. And Jim Belushi went there, and he lived there and he died there, even though I know John Belushi is the one that died. But I interchange them all the time because I get their names confused, so I think I did that in my dream.
I always think that they're made of blue cheese.
Blue cheese. More
they're
cheese.
Made of blue cheese.
More cheese. He's the cheese man.
Jim Belushi is a cheese man.
Oh.
He's the blue cheese man.
Oh, that is so strange.
Oh, is blue cheese French?
Yes.
Notre Dame just burned down.
This is everything. That's it. We figured it out. This is what my dreams were warning me about by going to Second City College. They're like, Notre Dame is going to burn. No, I don't.
Cheese.
It's a blue cheese.
It's a tragedy. We should be laughing, but Jesus.
But cheese is funny, so. If you can't find the humor in sadness, then...
Also, like, I've been looking at the pictures of like, the damage. It's actually not that bad. It's just,
thank goodness.
Like, the roof and the spire burnt, but, like, most of the structures...
Oh, that's not bad at all.
So, like, they'll be able to rebuild.
Okay, well, that doesn't make that. Then we can poke fun. It's fine. It's fine.
And they saved all the art.
Oh, good. See, everything's good. We can have some fun about blue cheese. But okay. So I'm going to school at Second City. My husband Mitch is with me there. We're not married. We're just schoolmates. And then the guy from Freaks and Geeks is there.
Which one?
The one with the glasses, the really skinny one. That guy. I can't think of his name, but he's there. And we're taking a tour of the school. And in the tour, you can actually go into the apartment that Jim Belushi lived and died in. And it's like a little yellow apartment, and it kind of looks like my pawpaw's house, which is really weird. But outside of the apartment, there are his dogs that sit down on the driveway, on like a sidewalk, not a driveway, and stare up at the window and look sad the entire time. And the tour guide says to me, you know, the dogs are really sad all the time, except for when Jim's ghost comes out. Then they're really happy. And I was like, oh, is this place haunted? She was like, very. So then we walk into the apartment and we're like looking around the place. And we go up these stairs, and at the top of the stairs, near the bottom of the wall, is an animatronic head sticking out of the bottom of the wall. And apparently it was put there to signify where Jim Belushi died. Like, how he died. Like, his head's, like, sticking out of the wall. And I was like, did he fall down or something? She was like, yeah. It was very sad. And I touched the head, and it moved, and it looked at me, and it said something really rude and sarcastic, and I looked at the woman, and I was like, what is happening? And she goes, oh, it's programmed that if you touch it, it's going to say things that Jim Belushi used to say. And I was like, oh, okay. But it didn't actually look like Jim Belushi. The animatronic head looked more like, there's a character on Stardew Valley that is his name is Harvey. And
Harvey Kinkle?
No. But he's a doctor. He also kind of looks like John Denver. But he kind of looked like that instead of looking like Jim Belushi, but it was supposed to look like Jim Belushi. So it was kind of like a Braveheart thing where the actual person, you know, William Wallace, the statue that they put up in Scotland didn't look like William Wallace. It looked like Mel Gibson. So kind of like that. But so then there's that, and we leave the apartment building and we're going to go have lunch because that's what you do on this tour. So we go into the cafeteria. I'm sitting there. Mitch is across from me, and the Freaks and Geeks guy is on the right of Mitch. And I'm looking at my salad that's sitting in front of me, and Jim Belushi's ghost just picks up my salad knives, which apparently I had 3, and he throws them, and they land on the floor in this, like, perfectly positioned way. And when I looked down on the floor, my knives were pirate swords, and there are 2 swords facing left, and there's 2 swords on the left and 1 sword on the right. And the Freaks and Geeks kid said, what is that? What is he trying to tell you? And then Mitch, in his Goofy movie voice, goes, left or right? And then I go, left! And then I woke up. So we did a Goofy movie reference in my dream. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. There's lots of things in this. I don't know what to look up specifically for it.
It was the strangest dream.
I did look up college and tourism.
Oh, yes?
So college, To dream of college denotes that you are soon to advance to a position long sought after. To dream that you are back in college foretells that you will receive distinction through some well-favored work. So either way, just, keep working.
Keep it, girl. Keep it going, girl.
And to be a tourist, to dream that you're a tourist denotes that you will engage in some pleasurable affair that will take you away from your usual residence. To see tourists indicates brisk but unsettled business and anxiety and love. So
I saw myself and I was tourisming.
Yeah, so, I mean, you could be actually traveling soon, maybe.
Interesting.
Or you could just be having anxiety with your relationship, I guess I'm reading that.
I was actually, in this stream, I was first person. I did not see myself in this stream, which is not my usual. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, but my synchronicities that I've been having with this stream. Let me pull these up, because I wrote them all down. Oh, I dropped my book.
She dropped it.
Do you see anything else in there that, stuck out to you for the dream?
I'm trying to look through this ghost. Lots of ghosts, and it's all, dead!
Yeah, there's lots of scary stuff in that book. So I started looking up Jim Belushi, okay? So apparently, Jim Belushi does a lot of voice acting now. He doesn't do much acting anymore other than voice acting. And that's something that I've talked about for years, maybe possibly wanting to get into. Oh, yeah, and I've also talked several times about maybe going to Second City and taking an improv class there. Also, Jim Belushi on the Scooby-Doo TV show was the Goblin King, which goes into another synchronicity that I've been having. And,
Labyrinth?
The Labyrinth, yes. And, something that's really strange. A couple days after I had the dream, I started having, songs from Little Shop of Horrors in my head. I had, Nobody ever treated me kindly. Suddenly Seymour.
Suddenly Seymour!
Right, so I've had Suddenly Seymour in my head for 3 days straight. So I looked at Mitch and I was like, we need to go to Half Price Books and see if we can find Little Shop of Horrors, because it's one of my favorites. And we go to Half Price Books, we can't find it anywhere, blah, blah, blah. We come home, we buy it off of Amazon, and we just download it there. And we're watching it, we're singing, I'm having a great time. And then, who pops up on the flippin' screen but Jim Belushi? Jim Belushi is in that movie, and I had no idea. He's a bit part in the very ending. He's wanting them to sell him little plant pods of Audrey 2. What? And then, before I posted, I don't know if I should talk about this part, but I'll talk about it now and then I'll decide later. But before I actually watched it, I posted that, Suddenly Seymour always gave me the feels, and I posted it online. And I thought to myself, before I posted that, I said, Jason Marsden would make a really good Seymour. Mm-hmm. And when I posted that, he was the first and only person that liked it. And I was like, that's so strange. It was weird.
Interesting.
So then, the Goblin King thing, I have been doing lots and lots of Jim Henson things. Not on purpose.
Sometimes on purpose.
Sometimes on purpose, sometimes not. But the Jim Henson thing, I was asked to play at Jason's to do a Jim Henson tribute show, and one of the people that we always interview always talks to me about Jim Henson stuff. Jay Fosgett.
Yeah. He loves Jim Henson.
Me too.
He does a lot of official artwork for Jim Henson stuff. So.
He does. So proud of him. But it's just so strange. And then with Jim Belushi doing voice acting.
Also, his name is Jim.
And his name is Jim. Jim Henson. And then Jason does voice acting now. And I've been really obsessed with David Bowie. And I don't know. I just feel like all of it's kind of pointing me. They're like, hey, you should probably do voice acting. So I've decided to do voice acting because of all these weird synchronicities.
Here's some synchronicity that you didn't know about, but I know about because I've been watching the new season. is that there have been references to both Little Shop of Horrors and David Bowie on runway outfits on the newest season of RuPaul's Drag Race.
What? Mm-hmm. Oh, that is so weird. And we usually watch those together.
I know. So if you watched it, you'd be like,
oh, that is so strange. Oh, even weirder. Even weirder. I didn't even put two and two together until this morning. One of my friends, her name is Jazzy. She's in a band. And guess what and they're having a CD release show this Saturday. Guess what the band's called?
Suddenly Seymour?
No, Belushi Speedball. It's a crack on John Belushi and his speedball problem that killed him. But still, Belushi, Mr. Flippin' Jim Belushi's brother.
It's such a random person to have such
I know
synchronicity with.
Like, this is not someone that I think about all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for him to just pop up in my dreams out of nowhere. I don't know. He also grows marijuana, so I was like, is that a thing? No, it's not. I haven't had anything else about marijuana pop up.
Weed juice?
Nope, no weed juice.
We talked something about marijuana.
We talked about weed juice earlier, didn't we?
Yeah. It was a funny conversation that we can't remember.
No, it was it was good though. It was good. But yeah, that's the weirdest, most synchronistic dream that I've had recently. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. I haven't had any synchronicity lately. I've had dreams in the past where I feel like it was like psychic predictions.
Yeah, I've had that too. It's strange, isn't
but like
it?
they were like always like the scariest ones. Yeah. Because like I had a dream like that I was in a tornado, and like the next day there was a tornado near my house, and I was like, ah!
You know what's so weird is your body was probably picking up on the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like your physical body was telling your brain, hey, just wanted you to know that I've noticed the barometric pressure has changed. There's probably going to be a tornado tomorrow.
Maybe.
Isn't that
strange? I mean, they do say, like, some people can feel changes in their bones, like in the weather. So, I mean, that might be truth to that. Yeah. But there was also one time, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the show before or not, but like when we were in high school, do you remember the reporter Daniel Pearl in Afghanistan? No. Yeah, he was a reporter that got kidnapped by Al Qaeda, I think, or whatever the big group is over there, and got beheaded on camera. Oh God! But like the night before, like that was the news story. Like I had a dream that somebody was going to get their head chopped off, like with like a hacksaw or something, something very violent. And then the next day, like turn on the news and like
voila, there it is.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God.
You know what's so strange is I've had a similar thing like that. This was years ago, before any of this ever happened. I had a dream that there were terrorists in the U.S. And they were driving trucks into large crowds of people. Yeah. And I remember in the dream I was in some sort of post office, and a girl we went to high school with was there. And I was like, you need to be really careful because they're doing this. And she's like, I'll be fine. And I was like, okay. So I went outside, and there's all these trucks like ramming into people, and I run across the street and I hide in bushes. And it's snowing out. And I remember I woke up and I was like, that is really weird.
Yeah.
And I remember I sent emails to people about it. I was like, they're kind of like my spiritual friends. I was like, so I had this dream, and I was like, I feel really strange about it because I feel like it could happen. And they were like, oh no, that's probably just your anxiety, blah, 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 blah. Like a year and a half later, it actually happens. And I was like, well, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Dreams are crazy. Have you had any more?
Like psychic dreams? I don't remember if I've had any more psychic dreams. I have had like weird nightmares that freak me out. I don't know if you want to try to decipher them. Let me pull up my Google Doc.
Oh, beautiful.
That has my dreams in them. because I keep one.
Oh, I had another dream 2 nights ago.
Go ahead.
Here, I'll talk about it while you're doing that. So I dreamt about that douchebag that was on set that grabbed my butt.
Yeah.
I was on set with him again, and we were in some sort of like big mall. And one of the rooms that were upstairs it was like River Falls Mall. Mm-hmm. One of the rooms that were upstairs was converted into a big office building that he kind of had like his cronies in. And for some reason, I went into his office and he was like threatening me and telling me not to say anything. Mm-hmm. And BJ Jenkins was there, by the way. He was one of the cronies, and he handed me like a yellow gun because.
Do we need to bleep out his name?
Yeah, I'll bleep it out.
Can we use the horn?
I almost said the actual guy's name too. Whoops! If you listen close, you'll be able to pick it up. But he started coming after me with a gun and was like trying to kill me. It was a very mobster mindset in the whole dream. And my gun didn't work. Like, I tried to shoot at him because he was coming after me, and it didn't do anything. It might as well have just, like, popped out a flower. So I'm screaming. My family's all upstairs sitting in theater seats, and the theater seats don't go to a theater. It just kind of looks like an outdoor stadium. Didn't make any sense. But I'm running into this huge group of people that I know, and I'm running up to people. I'm going, help me, he's trying to kill me, and no one's paying attention. And I run into the middle of the seats next to someone that I supposedly know, but they don't look familiar to me. They don't look like themselves. And I say loudly, he's trying to kill me, someone help me. And my Uncle John stands up and goes, who's trying to kill you? And I said, that guy. And I actually say his name. And my Uncle John, everybody in my family now starts standing up, and my Uncle John starts throwing water bottles and like bottles of cleaner at him. And everyone in my family's like, sit down, John, you're gonna get shot. And then I woke up.
Let him shoot Erin.
Exactly. Let him shoot Erin. Don't shoot John. For the love of all is holy.
Dream.
It was a weird dream. And I realized that it's probably, about how I know I have something over him now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I have the power in that relationship because the whole Me Too movement, I could get him in some serious stuff. But I don't need to. I'm good. But I think that's what that dream was about. The fact that I can hold that over his head. There's power in that now, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I have some interesting dreams. I've just written like little synopses of multiple, but I'll start with the most recent one because I remember this one.
Okay.
Actually, really freaking me out.
Oh. Okay.
So, like, I don't know, it was like this kind of futuristic thing where, like, there were android servants and they were, like, kind of like, I mean, they look like people, but they were androids. And, like, one of them was, like, starting to become, I guess, a little more human. It's very much like that video game I was telling you about.
Okay.
But, like, he was starting to, like he did something slightly wrong, like, that went against protocol. And, like, the other androids in the room just, like, kind of turned to him, like, with this soulless look on their face.
Oh.
And, like, they just, like, cornered him and, like, they stomped him to death. Like blood and, like, wires, like, but, like, I remember, like, I was, like, hiding because, like, I was scared because, like, I was a human or something, but, like, I was just kind of seeing these androids turn.
Yeah.
And, like, he had, like, the most hideous, like, inhuman scream of pain I've ever heard. And I remember that woke me up because I was like, oh my God, like, that was the scariest scream I've ever heard in my life. I don't know if that means anything. I just know that was, like, just the sounds he was making was freaking me out.
Maybe it's one of those things where, like, you're afraid of going out of the norm because everybody else is kind of following suit, and you're not following suit, so they're all, like, looking at you, and you know that robot wasn't following suit, and you saw what happened to him, so you have a fear about it.
Yeah.
I bet that's what it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's something I've been going to therapy for anyways, because, like, I was, for so long, like, living for other people.
Yeah.
And, like, doing things for other people. And, like, now my therapist is just like, hey, you have, like, possibilities. Like, you can do whatever you want now. And I think it's just free, like, it's frozen you in a way. I think that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
But I just remember, like, just the noises this guy made. I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, but it was terrifying. It sounds terrifying.
It was terrifying. Yeah. I also had another dream that was, like, super creepy and a little cool. But I keep bringing up that women are the victim in this one, which is creepy.
Oh.
It was, okay. So it was like, I don't know if, like, it was, like, a field trip or, like, a tourist thing or, like, but, like, it was, like, a group of people, like, I was there. But, like, I think I might have been a woman in the dream, actually. Because it was just, like, one of those, like, weird dreams. But, like, we went to, it was, like, a tour of this, like, old women's prison that was, like, abandoned and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, there was, like, traps in the floor that nobody knew about.
What?
And so, like, women
to, like,
would
catch people?
Well, not just like straight up kill people.
Oh!
So like as the tour went on, like, you know, women would just be falling through these traps and just like violently like slamming against like grates and pipes and stuff and dying.
It's terrifying.
And like nobody noticed. Like just people like they would just straight up go missing. People, oh, I guess there's not here anymore.
I know what this dream's actually about.
Yeah, but like I was a woman in that dream actually.
It's because you have more of a feminine presence.
Yeah.
And you told me earlier that you felt trapped. So like you're in prison and you were pretty much in an awful situation and no one noticed.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it replicated in that dream. That's interesting.
Yeah. But I just remember it was like a really creepy, like, old haunted house horror movie. Because, I mean, like, on the surface, it just looked like an abandoned building. But, like, because, like, I would get, like, a bird's eye view of these women dying. It was terrifying. And, it was like, when they fell through the floor, it was, like, the bottom, like, the ground, like, lit up, like, this, like, ghostly, like, green, like, it was, like, feeding on them.
Yeah. And it probably has something to do with, like, the Me Too movement as well. Because you are part of that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it went so long without people even noticing it, or noticing it and then shoving it under the bridge, you know what I mean? Or just continuing to walk on their tour, you know?
Like, oh, well,
everything's fine!
Samantha's gone!
Whoops! So, in Gustavus's book, Prison. You ready?
Yeah.
To dream of a prison is the forerunner of misfortune in every instance, if it encircles your friends or yourself. To see anyone dismissed from prison denotes that you will finally overcome misfortune. It says to also see arrested, jail, jailer, and workhouse. Maybe I'll look up jail.
I mean, I guess they were kind of dismissed from prison.
They were with their death. Let me look up jail. Maybe that'll be different. What if it says look up prison? I'd be like, oh.
Please see jailer.
Please. To see others in jail, you will be urged to grant privileges to persons whom you believe to be unworthy. Interesting. So all of that stuff that you were just talking about, how you have been living for other people and just helping them with everything.
Yeah.
Interesting. For a young woman to dream that her lover is in jail, she will be disappointed in his character or he will prove a deceiver. That's why I think this book is hilarious, because all of it is so dark. Hold on. To dream that you're rich denotes unpleasant avocations. What? I don't know, man. That's just something I just read in there. I was like, okay. Okay.
I don't think I've ever had a dream where I was rich.
I've never had that dream either.
You would think.
I usually have dreams about houses. I usually am in there's usually ghosts. I'm usually being haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my usual thing in my dreams. Another one that I had, usually it's old houses. This one I had this last night. Let me open my dream journal because I don't remember all of it right now. Here we go. Dreamt I was in a counseling class, but we all stayed at an old dorm. My mom was there. Cyndi Lauper was there. I know, right? We were working with little kids, watching the head woman showing the kids how to be kids. One little girl was left out because she didn't know how to be quote-unquote black, because she was an African-American girl, and the kids that were in her class that were also African-American told her she wasn't black enough.
Yeah.
So, which is something that happens, and it's very sad. So the head woman, put her next to a ghetto white kid. And I was like, what is happening? I remember in the dream, I looked at the woman sitting next to me, and I was like, I was paired with Cyndi Lauper to counsel her. My mom was paired with Jonathan from Queer Eye, which in the new season of Queer Eye, there's a person of color that was told she wasn't black enough.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that that's what this whole thing's about. But anyway, I was walking with her upstairs. The walls were painted the same design as her dress, and her body kept disappearing into the wall. It was weird. And then she went from being Cyndi Lauper to this little skinny, small-framed, brown-haired woman. And I was like, what is happening? So, in the dream, it seemed perfectly normal. But as me thinking about it, it's weird. And she started looking like a normal person. But she kind of reminded me of my aunt a little bit, my Aunt Sandy, which is married to my Uncle John, who saved me in the last dream. Weird, right? I showed her that her dress matched the wall, and I woke up. It was like an old Victorian boarding house.
Yeah.
And there were, fireplaces everywhere, and...
It sounds like a dream that's dealing with, conformity and, people pressuring you into roles that you don't necessarily need to fit into.
Yeah, agreed.
So, yeah.
Like her dress blending into the wall.
Yeah, because once she starts to conform, she starts to disappear.
Yeah. And she doesn't look like herself anymore. She looks like someone else. Like a very normal, bland-looking person. Travis, that's so smart.
I'm super smart.
You're super smart, Travis. Smart. Look at you. It's because your glasses.
I know, I got glasses, and now I'm, super smart.
Now he's super smart. He wears them, and he, brings them down to his mouth and chews on it. And he's like, let me think. He hasn't done that, but I thought it would be funny to say. But it made me laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do believe that it's about conforming to things. And I don't know. I remember when I woke up, I was like, I get why she moved the little girl to somewhere else, but it just seemed so rude to me to move her next to the ghetto kid.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I was like,
Also, that plays on a racial level. That plays she has to follow the example the white kid is setting for her. Exactly. That's messed up.
Exactly. Yeah, but I don't know, that was such a weird part of my dream. I was wondering if I could see, I do agree with you that it's totally about conforming to to what the social structure thinks you should be.
Yeah.
You don't have to, people. Be your individual self.
Do it.
That is one of my big things, so that's probably why I had that dream. It's just being your individual self, even though it's really hard. Let me see if they have a dorm on here. Or maybe counseling. I bet it's going to say something like, ill fate! Doorbell, doves. No, there's no door. Maybe it'll have counseling.
F Gustavo.
Yeah, F you, Gustavus.
You're not good at this.
Counseling. Counselor. To dream of a counselor, you are likely to be possessed of some ability yourself, and you will usually prefer your own judgment to that of others. Be guarded in executing your ideas of right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. At least he didn't say
Trust your own judgment.
terrible omen, which in the dream I was watching that woman like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I'm into it. If you had any more weird ones? Or just a normal dream.
Like,
Didn't
I
even
have
have to be
weird
weird.
dreams all the time. Like, there's more on that list. One thing that I do often, like, I feel like I've gotten to a place now where I'm pretty good at identifying, hey, this is a dream.
Yeah.
And I start lucid dreaming, and then I just have sex with people that I want to have sex with. because I'm going through this thing now where, like, I'm trying to, like, kind of explore my personal sexuality, but I don't want to do it with other people.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't want...
That's where I am,
I don't
too.
want other people involved. I just want
I'm the same
myself
way. Yeah.
in my hand and some pornography maybe, and I can
And do whatever you want.
Take some saucy pictures of myself for myself.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't want to
You don't want to
date
share it.
other people right
You're
now.
dating yourself.
But in dreams it's okay because it's not real.
Right.
So, like, I can
Or you think it's not real.
Isn't?
Other dimensions. Another dimension.
Murmur.
Another dimension. I keep wondering if, like, when we have our dreams, if other people are having our dreams too. Because I keep having reoccurring people in my dreams, and I'm like, are they dreaming this?
I don't know.
Somebody told me that if you dream about people you know, it's a stress dream.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the people that have been reoccurring in my dream, I don't know. Or it's someone that I know so small amount of that it wouldn't make sense for them to be a stress dream.
Usually my dreams are just... They're just, like, kind of cast from random things. Like, oh, you were on America's Next Top Model for one episode. Okay, you can play this part.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's just, it's not even, it doesn't even make sense who's
Right.
cast as what. It's just there. It's just like a grab bag.
I mean, it's like Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
Just randomly being in my dream.
You're a counselor now, Cindy.
Welcome. Welcome. Well, I think it was like a group of people in the dorm that were learning to be counselors, and they brought guest celebrities for us to counsel. I think that's what it was. Yeah. So, yeah. My mom was counseling Jonathan because my mom had lost her mom to cancer, and so had Jonathan. I realize that now.
Jonathan who?
Jonathan on Queer Eye.
Oh, yeah.
Was it his mom he lost to cancer? Or was it his dad? He lost somebody to
Remember.
cancer. I can't remember. But now I realize why they got paired together. I don't know why I got paired with Cyndi Lauper. I don't
You're
have...
both, like, small, like, Spitfire musicians.
Maybe that's what it is. I was like, I don't have psoriasis.
You know that she was, like, I learned this the other day by going to the Thunder Party, by watching Thunder coverage on the TV.
Yeah.
But she was the Grand Marshal of the Thunder Parade, or the Derby Parade, like, not too long ago.
Yeah.
And, like, they banned her because, like, she said the F word over the intercom. And they were like, Cindy, this is a family event!
I love that.
Yeah.
Maybe she represents my rebellious side.
I would say so, yeah.
I could see it because I've been wanting to dye my hair purple, and her hair is purple in all those commercials
know.
for her psoriasis. Like, I'm like, oh, look how pretty.
Love it.
She has aged beautifully. Girl. Whew.
Yeah.
Girl. You're supposed to say girl.
Girl.
Bitch.
Bitch.
Oh, man.
Sometimes, like... I'm going back to lucid dreaming. Like,
Do it, girl.
Sometimes, like, I will be lucid dreaming and I'm like, this is a dream. I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to do whoever I want.
Yeah.
And then, like, somebody says something and then I forget it's a dream. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. And then, like, I get knocked out of the lucid dream and I'm like, oh, this is real life.
This sucks. This sucks. No
what am I
problem.
doing here? I'm not having sex with you. This is wrong.
Have you... Who's the weirdest person that you did it with?
I think I've did it with everybody, and it's really weird to bring up.
Travis?
Full disclosure, yeah, I've had a weird sex dream about you, and then I woke up and I was like...
That's what I was about to ask. I was like, Travis, me?
Yeah, well, so here's the thing.
Hold on.
If I know you, I've probably had a weird sex dream.
Were my legs hairy?
I don't remember because I tried to repress
If
it.
they weren't hairy, then it wasn't me.
I just remember waking up and being like, that was so weird. Because, like, you know, like, you're like a sister.
I know,
just
right?
like,
we're sister and brother people.
that was a no for me.
Yeah. You woke up and were like, well, I had an experiment.
It did not.
It didn't go well.
It just proved that half a moment in junior high was all it will ever be.
Yep. Yep. Although, we did say in high school that if we weren't married by the time we were 40, we'd get married.
But you're married.
Sorry.
Okay, and I'm happy for you.
Have you had a sex dream about Mitch?
Yes!
What happened?
I don't remember, but just that it happened, and then I woke up and I was like, huh, and then I went back to sleep.
This is exciting. Okay, hold on, let me think.
Like, I will freely
Have
admit,
you had sex dreams about animals?
like like furry, like humanoid animals?
Yeah.
Like, yes, like, you know, like full on, like Beauty and the Beast, or like Beast from X, like, yeah, like, or like Alien, yeah. So if it's like humanoid,
you like those kind of boys.
I you know what? I like monster boys.
Mm-hmm. You do.
I do.
I like them too. Shh.
Yeah.
Hush, hush.
Hush, hush. Hush, hush. So now you've learned a thing, and then I was like, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm sure Dream Erin consented. She's fine.
She did, because the one thing I do remember that I've been trying to, because like I'm trying to repress because it's weird, but like one thing I do remember was that Dream Erin was very aggressive and was pursuing me, and I was like, that's very odd.
How?
Maybe it's because like you are so take charge with the podcast, and like
could be.
You get shit done, and I'm just.
I'm a little overwhelming.
She's my boss.
I'm a little overwhelming sometimes because I'm like, let's do this. It's fine. I'm gonna be completely honest. It does not bother me one bit that Travis had a sex dream about me. I'm sure I have been in many people's dreams doing the hibbity.
But like,
the thing is I usually am not in dreams doing hibbities.
What? Okay.
Isn't that weird? Like, I do not. In my dreams, like, I will walk in, like, people will hit on me, and, like, sometimes people will grab my boob.
Yeah.
But I've never actually had the hibbity in my dreams. Isn't that weird?
That's weird.
Yeah.
But see, like, it really meant nothing other than it was just weird, so that's why I'm okay with telling you about it. I was just like, oh, that's weird.
And also, I don't really care.
Yeah.
People have dreams. Other people have told me that they've had sex dreams about me before. I won't mention who, but it is a girl I know. You know who I'm talking about.
I probably do.
Oh, I guarantee.
You have big lesbian energy, and we've already
do.
discussed this many times.
And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Oh, I had another dream 2 days ago. Again, it was a mall. I don't know why I'm dreaming about malls so much. Maybe I want to buy stuff or something.
Malls. I think I've recently had a dream about a mall.
Really? Maybe it's the same dream. Hold on, let me look to it. I broke into a store at a mall after hours and stole clothes. The people working there were unable to know I was there. I left my stuff.
You stole it, but then you left it there?
Yeah, like a dummy.
Ugh.
No, wait, no. I stole it, and then I went back. Yeah. I stole it, and then I went back. I wrote this when I was half asleep because it was like the middle of the night. I stole the stuff, and then I went back because I left one of my items, like something that was actually mine, like a cell phone, like you see in like comedy shows. Like, oh, I left my cell phone in the dead body's bag. I was flipping my hair around. You guys didn't see it. So I left my cell phone there. So the next night, I broke back in to go in and get my stuff. And, like, it was like a big hamper of stuff. So apparently I left a lot of things. There was a giant hamper of, like, clothes that I left in there.
And they just left it out for you.
Yeah, they did. It was just left out. Like, I don't know if maybe it wasn't the next night. Maybe it was the same night and I came back to get it. But whenever I went back in to get my stuff, and I'm, like, carrying the hamper out the front of the storefront, in the mall. So it's not outside, it's in the mall. And
Are you prancing and making your Baba Yaga noise?
might as well have been. But like, because I was seen at this point. Because I noticed whenever I was carrying my large hamper, my white hamper that I actually have downstairs in the basement, I noticed that these people started going to work because it was like 6 a.m. at this point. And I was like, oh, F, everyone's here now. And I'm walking down the stairs. I'm like, maybe if I just act like I'm supposed to be here, they won't be weird about it. Then, like, 4 or 5 people walk into the store, and I, like, duck in behind my hamper right in front of them. Like, they're not going to see me. And the first guy doesn't see me, and I was like, yes!
It's like on a video game. Huh? I thought I heard something.
What was that? Must have been my imagination after you shoot him in the chest with an arrow. But then the girl stops and she looks right at me. And she goes, what are you doing here? I was like, I'm just getting my stuff. And so, like, they all started, like, crowding me, and they started making me do all kinds of work in the store to make up for the stuff that I stole. What does it feel like?
Feels like a gangbang in a very different situation.
It's about to be. So, I'm cleaning up the stuff, and they put me in this room with this big burly guy that looks like a Chippendales. He's dressed like a Chippendales guy. And he's like walking me into this area where there's all these tuxedos. And another guy walks in, and he starts saying all these gross, like, innuendo jokes about me and the big buff guy. And then I was like, can you stop saying those jokes? And he looks at me and goes, what makes you think they're jokes? And I look back at the buff guy, and he doesn't have a shirt on anymore. And I'm freaking out. And, like, I push both of them, and I run out of the store. And then I go home, and I can't remember what happened, but I was sleeping on a couch for some reason. So I think I was staying at someone else's house. I don't really remember. I put something down about this. Oh, the guy told me, if you think you're not going to get touched, you're stupid.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's what he told me in the dream. And I was like, you're gross.
See, I wanted it to like fully feel like it was going to be like a gross like gangbang situation, but like it'd just be something stupid. Like,
I wish that's what it was.
Like a night at the Roxbury where they're just dancing.
I wish that's what it was. Oh, but then the next day I went back to the mall and I wore a disguise and I was like, I need to go get my stuff because that's all of my stuff. Apparently I was sent on some sort of mission for somebody. I looked in my book. Apparently I was sent on a mission by someone that I live with to go and steal that stuff because we needed money to pay for the apartment that we were in. Or the house that we were in, or something like that, or medicine money, I don't know. It was important money. So I go there, and outside of the store, it says free stuff, and it's my hamper, and all of my clothes.
Petty. Like, she left, and she didn't let us touch her, so.
Let's just get rid of all of her stuff. So I walk over, and I start picking up my stuff, and then that girl pops up again, and she goes, hey! You're that girl! And I was like, oof! So I grabbed my stuff and I'm like hobbling out of the store carrying all of my things. And then I woke up.
That's pretty great.
It was a good dream.
I hope you were dressed like the Hamburglar.
I might as well have been. I might as well. That was first person as well. I usually don't have first person dreams, but this week I've had a lot of them. But isn't that weird? I wonder what stealing means, because I totally stole stuff in that dream. I stole stuff. I was a robber.
Robbers?
I was a robber. I'm going to look up stealing stuff. But yeah, I don't know if you guys know this. If you've listened to the podcast on several occasions, really buff, muscular people make me nervous. So it makes sense that he would be the one that they would be like, he's going to touch you. And I'd be like, no! You're welcome. Do you hear the book?
It's a book.
Do you hear it? It's like ASMR. Hold on. I don't know
That's
if
dry ASMR.
Dry ASMR. Dry ASMR. Store? Is there a store? Maybe a store? Store. I need to look up stealing. To dream of stealing or of seeing others commit this act foretells bad luck and loss of character. All my other dreams have been good luck. To be accused of stealing denotes that you will be misunderstood in some affair and suffer therefrom, but you will eventually find this will bring you favor. To accuse others, I didn't do that, I was just stealing stuff. So, loss of character.
So someone else will think something bad about you?
Yeah.
When did you have the dream?
A couple days ago.
Did it happen before the discussion we had?
Oh.
Before the podcast?
Oh, I don't know. Let me look. I have a hair in my mouth. Let me look.
Because maybe a certain person accused you of lacking character. IRL.
No, nobody's accused me of that.
Well, like, as they perceived it.
Oh, hold on, let me look. It was 9/17. What's a 9/17? What day is that? It is after. It is after the discussion. 4/17. It looked like a 9. Sorry.
What?
Actually, I think I did write 9. I'm going to tell you guys a secret. I have number dyslexia. When I see the number 4, when I see the letter F, I immediately will say 4. When I see the number 4, I will think it's a 9. And that happens in my head too, not just with like seeing it. That's why I wasn't good at math as a kid. Doesn't mean I'm stupid, just means I need to stare at it a little bit.
Maybe it was like you were feeling the tension and then like someone was going to accuse you of something.
That could be. It definitely could be.
And then it happened and you're like, oh.
That definitely could be. To dream of a store filled with merchandise foretells prosperity and advancement. But what if you're stealing it? An empty one denotes failure. It wasn't empty. Not until I got done with it. To dream that your store is burning? No. If you find yourself in a department store, it foretells that much pleasure will be derived from various sources of profit.
I mean, obviously, like, if you're going to give me money, I'm going to enjoy that.
Yes. Hold on, this is a good one. To dream that you sell a pair of soiled gray cotton gloves to a woman. Why is this so specific?
That's very specific.
What? I think this is a dream he had, like, all the time.
I think it would be less specific if he said soiled underwear.
But no, this is gloves.
But it's just gloves.
It's just a gray cotton gloves?
Gray gloves.
Gray cotton
specific
gloves.
Color and material.
Yep, nothing else. Just this. So if you sell her a pair of soiled gray gloves, foretells that your opinion of women will place you in hazardous positions.
So this is definitely a Gustavo dream.
Yeah, this is a Gustavus dream.
He's like, I hate women. Let's talk about
hold on. He's about to talk about sex. If a woman has this dream, her preference for someone of the male sex will not be appreciated very much by him.
So if you've ever dreamed about gloves.
A soiled gray cotton glove.
That you sell to someone.
That I sell to someone.
Then a boy does not like you.
A boy does not like me. And that is upsetting. So, this dream is making me feel, it's splitting me in two, because it tells me I'm going to have loss of someone's opinion, but then it also tells me I'm going to be very prosperous.
Maybe it's because you're prosperous that you lose someone, because there are those people who are like, oh, she's succeeding.
That could be. I've had a lot of dreams about someone that, I don't know, I think it's weird if I bring it up.
A specific someone?
A specific someone. I've had, like, constant dreams of this one person. And I'm like, this is weird, because I don't really know them. So, in one dream, I was babysitting his kids. And they wanted chicken nuggets, and I didn't have any chicken nuggets.
So they ate you?
No, I wish. So then I hitchhiked to get there, by the way. And then I get there, there's no chicken nuggets, and then I leave to go get chicken nuggets, and somehow I end up like an hour away or 2 hours away, just by myself. I don't have a car. And I go to like this transportation place where this guy that I met one time on a movie set was sitting there. And I was like, hey, could you give me a ride to this address? And he was like, sure. And we're walking out of the building, and we get to his vehicle, and he's like, one problem. My vehicle is a plane. And I was like, oh, no, I don't think I'm going to do this. It was a 2-person plane. So he picks me up.
I wish it was something like even more ridiculous. Like, one problem: my vehicle is a rutabaga.
My vehicle is my penis. I'd be like, no.
That's too much of a.
Too much?
I mean, that's too literal. Like I want it to be abstract. Like it's a potato.
It's a potato. But he put me on the plane, even though I was like, I don't want to do this. And we go up into the air, and for some reason, to calm me down, he flies underwater. And I remember holding my breath, but I could still breathe, and I was like, this is weird.
That's crazy. I've had dreams like that too, like where we'll just drive into the ocean, but like
everything's cool.
Everything's cool. Like you can breathe, like you can see, like you're just looking out the window, like, wow, the fish.
This is amazing.
No.
Maybe it's like to travel under the sea.
Yeah.
Maybe it's representing our mother's womb because we were in water and we could breathe in it.
You know, my mom was driving in that.
Oh, that's so weird.
Which is crazy because my mom doesn't drive anymore because of how sick she is. But
yeah, is she doing okay?
She's okay.
Okay,
They don't like her driving because of
the medication and all she's on.
Cut myself on your chair.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Do you need a Band-Aid?
No, it's okay.
Okay, because I get you one.
It's fine.
I get you Band-Aid. We have liquid skin. It'll burn like a bitch, but it'll close your skin up.
It's fine.
Okay, good. But then I get to his house and I realize that I forgot the chicken nuggets. And then I leave again.
His kids kill you.
No, I don't know where his kids are. They're like up in the attic or something. And I leave again. And the kids are like taking stuff out of his house and putting it on the lawn for some reason. And again, this is me babysitting them. So they're just home alone, doing whatever the F they want. So I leave again, and for some reason I end up in the middle of the highway, and my mom picks me up, and she's lugging a mirror. I don't know why. But I ask her if she could take me over here, and I need to pick up chicken nuggets. So we pick up chicken nuggets, we go to the house. And I go inside, and he's already back now. And he's like, oh, what are you doing here? And I was like, oh, well, I left some things outside, and I was bringing them back in because I know the kids did it. So then this whole crew of people just start coming out of nowhere to start putting things back in the house. And apparently he had the same mirror that was in the back of my mom's truck brought into the house, so they grabbed both of the mirrors, and I said, hey, that mirror is actually ours. And then I woke up. What? What?
I don't appreciate that there was no resolution to the chicken nugget story.
There's absolutely no resolution. Those kids never got food. I starved them.
That's why they weren't at the end of the dream, because they're dead.
They're dead. I am a bad babysitter. Very bad.
Like you had one job.
I had one job, and it was give them chicken nuggets, and I failed miserably. And I was constantly driving around and leaving them alone.
And this is why that dream is about how you shouldn't have kids.
That's 100% what it's about. It's like, no, girl, that's no.
You're going to fail to give them chicken nuggets and they'll die.
Yep. That's what it is. And then I had another one about him. I was at a house show, and I found a Sega Genesis that was just on a shelf, and I said, do you have the game Toe Jam and Earl? And he said, I think I do. And he went into his attic, got a bunch of games down, and found Toe Jam and Earl, and then I played it for like 3 hours. And then I woke up.
Okay.
Weird.
Dreams are weird.
Dreams are super strange. I don't understand them by any means.
Yeah, I have a whole list. I should just read them off.
Do it. Gimme.
Like a synopsis. And then you can do what you will with them.
Okay. What do you think the one about the Sega Genesis is about?
You had an experience with Toe Jam and Earl as a child.
I did. I never got to play it. My sisters played it, and they were like, you can't play, you're too young. But I wanted to. I wanted to so bad. I think that dream's about my childhood.
Not getting to play Toe Jam and Earl. Mm-hmm. And so, like, you get the chance to play it forever. Do you like to hear these dreams?
I do. I absolutely do.
Okay. There's only like about 5 or 6 of them, but they're crazy. They're wackadoo.
I love
One
wackadoos.
I told you about already in the Lost Boys episode, if that gets out before this or not. When I was 5, a vampire gang broke into my house and held me back as their leader ate my mom, who was Kiefer Sutherland, by the way. The gang
Your
leader.
mom was?
Yes.
Cool.
Everyone was Kiefer Sutherland. My mom and the vampires.
Were you?
Yeah, me as well. No, it was just Kiefer Sutherland from the Lost Boys, and like, whatever, that's a pretty straightforward dream. Homophobic witches causing an apocalyptic hurricane if we defeat them. I think, okay, so like in this dream, like there was a group of like conservative, like homophobic witches, which is such a weird oxymoron.
That is weird, because that's not a thing.
I know, right? But like,
most of the time witches are like,
but
that's
like,
cool.
we were like rebellious gays, and they were like having evil magics, and like we defeated them. But because we defeated them, their evil magic like released like this tidal wave that engulfed the earth. It was really scary.
That's frightening.
So everyone just dies.
Oh, is that about your non-acceptance
I
of
don't
being
know.
gay?
We fought for our freedom, and we still died, but we fought for it anyway.
Freedom! It's William Wallace
I
again.
know.
Oh, honey, you're Mel Gibson. There would be a statue of you,
I know, Mel
but it would
Gibson
look like
is-
Mel Gibson. Oh, he is now. He is now. Oh, I bet the Scotland people feel even worse about that
They
now.
probably do.
They're like, I don't want William Wallace to look like him.
Watching a horror movie I've seen 100 times. The cute boy that I like is going to die, but I talk back to the screen as I always do, but this time he listens and survives.
What?
Ah.
That would be such a cool show.
I've seen a couple movies that are sort of like that.
Oh, let's do it.
It's not super original, but maybe, I don't know.
Let's do it.
This sentence, I don't even remember this dream, but the sentence is amusing.
What is it?
Lesbian pop star murder spree triad.
What?
So I'm guessing it was a polyamorous lesbian throuple that were pop stars, and they just murdered people.
You dream about a lot of lesbians.
'Cause, you know, solidarity, right?
But they're always doing bad things. They're murdering. Is it because of those girls that lap danced you?
No, because they were straight girls.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I like lesbians. It's because, so here's the thing, in my dream world and like in my fiction and stuff, like I do write a lot of horror and like scary stuff. So like,
Maybe you're just wanting them represented.
I actually like, you know, bad boys and bad girls.
Yeah,
like,
that's
and
true.
So it's not really a bad thing. in
Maybe
my dreams.
that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is, because you like them so much. They're showing up as the bad guy in that stuff because you enjoy
it's
it.
usually like not like they're just evil. It's like a sympathetic, like, oh, this is why we're doing
Okay,
it.
I'm into it.
It's never like I never get like a straight up villain in my stuff in anything I do. So.
I don't think anyone ever is a straight up villain.
No. And then this last one, because I've already read the last two, because they were the other ones that were crazy. Okay. Is I find out my whole family is murderous snake demons.
Oh, you told me about this one.
They want me to accept my destiny as one, but I don't want to kill people. But they did have some pretty sweet powers that came with it. Like they could understand any language. I was like, that's really cool. I'm very tempted to murder people.
I would love to be able to know that.
Yeah.
How
Plus,
many people would you have had to have murdered?
Because I guess we eat people now, because we're demons that are snakes.
Oh, I guess that would be your
So
food.
we would have to. But they were like, hey, Travis, like...
Would you die if you didn't eat them?
No, because I think it was like one of those things where it's like, I was of age to like accept my powers. So if I didn't, I would just be human. But if I did...
You're Sabrina.
Yeah, I would get like all these cool powers, like learning how to speak all the different languages, and I guess like some superhuman strength and stuff.
Be a Parsamouth.
Yeah, yes. They also tempted me with some sexy demon boys.
Of course they would.
I think I did say yes, because I'm weak.
You're like, sexy demon boys? Don't mind if I do.
To be honest, it was probably more the understanding everything. Like,
yeah, which is super cool.
That would be like the greatest superpower. Like I want to talk to everyone.
I think
except for not, but I do. I want to understand everything. That's it.
Yeah, I'm like that too. That's a really cool dream.
Yeah.
That is. I had a dream about Chris Kirkpatrick.
I feel like that's a recurring dream throughout your life.
I'm going to be completely honest. It is. I've had several dreams about Chris Kirkpatrick, and I am not ashamed. Not even a little bit. And one of the dreams, I went to a convention to see him, and we could not figure out where they were at the convention. You were there. You were there.
It was a dream?
Yeah, it was a dream.
Because this feels very true to life.
It does feel true to life.
From the last couple conventions, we were like, where is everything?
No jokes. But they had, like, these headphones that you had to put on. It was like a scavenger hunt to try and find the boy band. The boy band members. If you want to find AJ McLean, click to this channel on your walkie-talkie.
Pretty cool, though.
It was super cool.
That would be fun.
It would be super fun.
And then you find, like, you pull back the curtain and they're there and they're like,
you're like, this is what I wanted!
and they prance away like a bunny.
That'd be so much fun. Maybe we should start a convention and do that stuff.
I have some ideas for when we do. We'll talk about them later.
So good. I have ideas for our conventions too. I do want to go back to Cincinnati Comic Expo this year.
I do too.
I love it. I love it. We didn't get to release our videos this year of Cincinnati Comic.
We got our podcast out, and I was super proud of it.
Yeah.
The one with Bill Ratner. He's such a cool guy.
Yeah. This year we're just going to do podcasts.
Oh!
Ooh, what happened?
I just hit my foot.
It's okay. But this year we're just going to do podcasts with people. I want us to actually get a booth and then have people come and sit with us. It's okay. We'll have them live stream with us so we don't have to walk around. We can just sit there.
Like, come record stuff.
Exactly. And then we can have the cosplayers come and sit next to us so we can interview them. It'd be good. And we wouldn't have to worry about, editing and all that stuff. It would just upload automatically.
Remember that the first year we went and Sexy Gambit was like, no.
Yes. Yes.
Mitch was like, come say hi. And he was like, no.
If I had said it, he probably would have.
And he twirled away.
I bet if I had said it, he would have.
Yeah.
I bet he would have.
I think he was like, this 70s porn director is trying to get me to take my clothes off.
That's probably accurate. Pretty sure Mitch had a mustache. You know what a mustache means.
Mustache rides.
Yup.
How long have we been recording? I have to pee.
An hour and a half, so a long time. Hold on, I'll do this Chris Kirkpatrick dream just because I started talking about it, and then leave it alone. Chris Kirkpatrick, it was me watching him on something mourning his marriage.
Did he get a divorce?
I guess so. I think she might have died.
Feels because mourning is very specific word.
Yeah, next part, I was working somewhere, left a bunch of mess. Boss came in.
I thought you were about to say, left a bunch of meth.
Yep, that's what I did.
From your crime spree.
What else am I going to do if I want to make a lot of money?
You just have a crime spree throughout your dreams.
Yep.
You're stealing from department stores.
Because I don't do cool stuff in
real
real life.
Meth everywhere.
Like I have a trail of it. I'm carrying it in my hamper.
You just have a
Has
big
holes in it.
overgrown backpack like a little gnome and a
No, it's like Yoda.
Yeah.
Yoda's just throwing meth. Next part, I was working somewhere. Left a bunch of mess. Boss came in. It was an attractive male. I picked up all the menus, cleaning everything up. Why were there menus? Where was I? Lots of computers. I'm not sure what the business was. Question mark, printing? Question mark. It had to be something. I don't know. It's something about, I went to the back room and I found a bunch of presents in the back
Christmas
room.
time?
It was Christmas time. Oh, I remember this dream now. The boss came over, pat my back, and then said, "Don't worry, you're doing a good job," because I had spilt everything everywhere. Oh, this is about me being in the cafeteria at the old school I used to work at. If you spilled stuff, it was a mess. But no one ever pat my back and said it was okay.
Nobody ever pat my back.
Nobody ever treated me kindly. Daddy left early.
Mama was poor.
Mama was poor.
I'm gonna be honest, I have always identified with Audrey. Always. And so whenever I watch it, I'm like, Rick Moranis is gonna save her!
Yeah.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
He's so cute. I love Rick Moranis.
It's about time for them to do a new movie. Or at least like a new, a live stage.
Who, Rick Moranis?
Well, just Little Shop.
That would be great. Little shop of horror.
You'd probably be like, oh, Ariana. Well, you know what? She probably could do it. She could do it, actually. She's done that song before.
Has she?
Yeah, Ariana Grande. Yeah.
Grandi. Grandy?
Granola.
She pronounces her name different than we thought. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, she sings it with someone because she's actually a big musical theater fan. So
I can tell.
because she's recorded a version of that song. She did a song with that Mika guy like several years ago that used like sampled Popular from Wicked.
Did you know that she likes boys and she likes girls?
I mean, I could figure she gives off that energy.
No, did you know that though? Because she says it in her songs, and I keep getting spammed about it on Facebook.
Oh.
They're like, "Oh my gosh, I think Ariana Grande is bisexual." I was
Shocking.
like, "Don't you know this?"
So
I was like, "Big whoop."
some people give off that energy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do.
You do because
I ooze it.
lesbians love you.
Yeah.
Straight up want to marry you.
Oh, they can. Go ahead. Go ahead, honeys.
I've had several women ask me, like, hey, if she ever comes into relationship trouble, just hit me up. We love you, Mitch, but this is what ladies think.
Lesbians love me.
Lesbians love big, cool Erin.
That's
Lesbians
right.
love cool Erin.
I got one of my pant legs up.
Ella, she has an 8-pack.
You know I do.
And gold chains.
An 8-pack of flub. Whoa! Actually, I have an 8-pack and they're all boobs. I'm like a cat. I'm like a cat. Where I'm just like,
I mean, that would make sense because you're very cat-like. Like, you're into cats. You just have 8 nipples?
I have 8 nipples. Like, I call them my nubbins, like on Friends.
Have you seen the old Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Total Recall?
You know I have, with the 3 boobies. Yeah, but no, mine would go up and down.
Yeah.
Mine wouldn't just have...
You'd have tassels?
Yeah, I could have, like, you can't see it. I was shaking my boobs.
It would be like one of the dancers in Jabba's palace.
Yes.
What's that? Oh my god. That alien lady with the long mouth that sings jazz.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's very good. Did you know I was trained operatically? Did you know that? I didn't want to. My parents made me do voice lessons, and the woman could never remember my name, so she always called me Gina. And she's like, "You just look like a Gina." I was like, "My name's Erin." And she was like, "You look like a Gina." Sorry.
Did she do that just so that she could make a Martin joke? Be like, "Damn, Gina."
No. No, she never said that. I was like 9 or 10.
I would do that.
No, wait, I might have been like 11 or 12. I don't know. I was
your
like,
name is Gina, just so I could be like, "Damn, Gina."
Damn, Gina. No, she didn't do that, but she did make me do a Spanish song called No Quiero Casarme, which means I know I do not wish to marry.
Oh, it's so prophetic.
Yeah.
I mean, married.
Yeah.
So I guess not. But that's your attitude towards most men.
No, quiero casarme. She made me do that.
I mean, it gave you some really good, like, rolly R's.
It did indeed.
I can't.
You can't do it? I can even do it. I can do it without my tongue.
It sounds like I'm foaming.
You gotta swallow. Swallow first. There you go. There you go. You got it. See, you just had to swallow. See, I can do it without my tongue
I'd
too.
remember that.
Here we go. Ready? Penis.
We've been recording for way too long.
This is the point where we get really punchy and just start talking about whatever. But
Your Fry's looking at us like, "Shut up."
I was like, "Come on, please." But I can do it without my tongue. Get ready. You ready? No tongue.
See, I can't use...
It's my hangy ball.
I'm so bad at that. Because all the gays can do, like, the tongue pop. I can't.
That?
Yes!
So you stick your tongue on the top of your mouth, and then There you go.
They do it like with the pronounced like lip.
Just bring your jaw down when you do it. Just bring your jaw down. You can do it.
This is like some weird ASMR, man.
No, you're doing it though. Like that's pronounced.
I know. Whatever, man.
Game over! Game over!
Oh, he's dead.
He is dead. There's so many people now that I'm like, oh, they're dead. Robin Williams. Anytime that he pops up on something, I'm like, David Bowie.
Lorraine Warren just died today.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's popping up on all my like scary movie groups and stuff because all the Conjuring movies are based off of her.
She's a cool chick.
Yeah, she passed away today.
Sad. And then the Georgette from Mary Tyler Moore passed away yesterday. Or 2 days ago? I liked her.
She was such a cute lady. She talks like this.
But anyway, we that was our podcast about dreams that turned into our random talking stuff. Let me tell you about that cheese man. I'm a cheese man. I'm a cheese man. I'm a cheese man. You guys can't see it, but I made him do that.
She stopped and she stared at me like until I did it.
I'm his boss.
Oh, she's making sexual advances now.
Travis. Is that how I talk to you in the dream? Travis. What do you think of my boob? Do you like...
Probably why I blocked it out.
Do you like my boobs, Travis?
I'm dying.
That's what I think. That's how I imagine it. Because you're saying I was being aggressive. The only time I'm aggressive is when I'm not being really aggressive. It's my fake aggression. Or was I like, hello? Did I purr at you? I probably purred at you.
I just remember a lot of like eyes, like cat eyes.
Really? Was it like this?
No. It's like it was like Skinemax like porn eyes, but then so obviously I was like, what's going on with that?
Oh, do you mean were you like, is there something in your eye? I bet it was.
What's wrong with you?
Hold on, was my face like this? Because that's what they do in those, right?
And then you started coming on to me. I was like, this is really weird.
You're like, no, and then you're like, okay, and then you're like, no.
Then I blocked it out.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I think it's hilarious.
So, if you've had sex dreams about either one of us,
tell us.
Yeah.
In great detail, please.
Write fan fiction.
Oh, that would be great. Don't do it about the two of us. You're gonna do it now because I know.
They're gonna flesh out the dream.
I said it.
They're gonna flesh out the dream. And they're going to be like, here you go. And then, like, when we finally reach the status where we have our own panel at a con, they're going to read it in front of everybody. And so we were like, can you not?
You know what? I will let them read it, and I will laugh the whole time. I will. Thanks for the future fan fiction.
Between a gay man
and a non-labeled lady.
Who are childhood friends.
Yep.
That have no sexual attraction to each other.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. It's like Neve and Max on Catfish. Everybody's like, they're gay together. They're like, no.
Yeah, Mitch is gonna listen to this and be like, Travis can't come over anymore.
No, I think Mitch would be like, I've had sex dreams about Erin.
Well, that's a little different.
And then he'd go, and I've had sex dreams about you, too.
I wonder if if the only outcome, like, he'll get from this is be like, what's his sex dream about me?
That's probably what he would wonder. How was it? Was it good?
Yeah. I mean, Mitch, I don't really remember. Because, like, when it's that close to me, I'm just like, this is odd.
So you block it out.
So I just try not to.
Is it in your dream journal?
No, because those are some things that I will not write down.
You should write it down.
I don't
You
want to
should
write
start
it down.
making like a tally of how many times you
Awkward
have
sex
with,
dreams with like weird people that I don't want to.
Yes.
That'd be we should make it like a an episode of something. It's like weird sex dream pairings. And just like have a discussion in the episode about it.
We have talked about doing weird celebrity couples. We could totally add that in.
Yes.
Because weird.
I just spit everywhere.
You gleeked.
I have to pee.
He's gotta pee. So I guess we should end the podcast now.
So if you like us, like and rate and subscribe and give us some money because we're going to be doing some stuff. So
we're doing some stuff and we ain't got no money in real life. So if you got some dollars, hand them our way because we need some dollars to do it our way.
Dreams
come true. But not without you. Is that good?
or your money.
Is that good? Is that good?
It's great.
Okay, love you guys. Bye-bye. Enjoy peeing, Travis.
Oh, God. Oh, I can feel it in my bones.
Oh, he's got pee in his bones.